Next up, we're going to create shapes using the Shape Builder tool, as well as showing you how the Pathfinder palette works, because they work in a similar way, which is why I'm showing them in a video together. In order to create a cam like this, it's done using the Shape Builder tool in the end. However, it was done using a combination of the ellipse tool as well as the pen tool. Now, the ellipse tool creates ellipses. However, using Shift, I can now create a perfect circle. I'm going to create a circle over all of this. Click and drag down as best as I can, and then hold Shift down. And now I'm happy with that. I'll move that into place by clicking on the selection tool, tapping my keyboard a couple of times. In wanting to work smarter and not harder, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to select that and I am going to press Command C for copy, found here. So I'm going to copy it, but this time I am going to paste it in front. When I paste it in front, it looks like nothing has changed. However, when I scale it down, you can see that there was two. There was my original, and clearly there was one pasted on the front. Now, I could use the scale tool, or I could use another tool. I'll show you the scale tool first. I'll go to my window menu. I need to go to toolbars and click on advanced, and this is where I have got my scale tool. So if I double click on my scale tool, I've got this scale tool dialog box that pops up and I can type in a value. Let's say 20%, hit tab, and then I can see it goes smaller. If I want to go a little bit more, 18, press tab again and it goes smaller, then I can press OK. That's one way of doing it. The other way is clicking and dragging this down, holding Shift to make sure it's a circle and not an ellipse, and then holding Option or Alt on the keyboard. And now this makes it go from the center. The next part, to complete my cam, I used the pen tool. Now I started at the edge here and I moved my mouse over to here. I held Shift down to make sure that's in a line and I clicked once. The next part though, I went over here and using my understanding of how to create curves using the pen tool, I clicked and dragged to the left while I also held Shift. Once I was happy with that, I hit the escape button. That stopped that motion. You saw that there was a curve that went up before. Now if I click, it's going to create a new line or new shape. Instead of clicking, I'm simply going to press the letter V or the selection tool. I'm going to click it. Now we're good to go. Now, in order to complete this, what I'm going to do is go back to the Shape Builder tool like we introduced you to while creating that S. So I'm going to select it all. I'm going to go to my Shape Builder tool, which is over here. Keyboard shortcut is Shift M. And the Shape Builder tool allows me to join things together or subtract things from it. So I want this and this to be one whole piece. So I'm going to click and drag my mouse, and now that is one piece. Now it's left this awkward line here, and I don't want that line. So I'm going to hold Alt on a PC or Option on a Mac, and I'm going to click on this line. When I hover over it, Illustrator tells me the line that is going to get deleted. So now that I click once, it is gone. If I deselect it by pressing the selection tool, I can see that it's all good to go. Now, if I move this in place though, this is one of the things that you've got to understand. Sometimes we have what is called artifacts. And especially when you're cutting on a laser cutter, the laser cutter doesn't know what you want. The laser cutter only sees the line. And if you had a file like this, it would actually cut the outside once, but it would have cut the inside twice. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this. I'm now going to go Object and hide my selection so I don't see it, and it's going to reveal something underneath it. I'm going to select that, hit delete to make that go away. I'm going to go to the Object menu and go Show All again. Now if I flip this around, so I'm going to swap the fill and the stroke, I can now see that I have got my cam in there. Let me zoom out.